sell and you profit from this. And also, high chance of occurring equals low chance you're wrong and you lose money. So the further out you can predict an event which has a high chance of occurring, the more money you make. So now the question is, how do you know what has a high chance of occurring? Well, there's no exact science that I can give you to answer this. But when I came up with this thesis, I just looked at it and I thought this has a very high chance of occurring. And I think one way that you could determine the probability of something occurring is to think to yourself, how could this go wrong? So what could go wrong that this doesn't play out? Well, let's do some basic math here, right? What could go wrong where Toshi doesn't get all this money coming in its third order consequence? Well, Coinbase could get no new users, ETF rejected, no bull run, which equals no users to Coinbase. Maybe Base blockchain shuts down, Toshi dies, founder, rug pulls. Another coin takes Toshi's spot. So you can see that there's a number of sort of things that could go wrong here. And there's not a 100% guarantee that this can play out. But when I use my brain and I sort of forward project, okay, that's what could go wrong. What's the chance of those things that could go wrong happening? Okay, very low chance. What's the chance of this happening being right? This has a very high chance of playing out. So the wrong scenario, very low chance of happening. The right scenario, very high chance of happening. And I'm thinking 3 steps ahead. So this is a perfect thesis. This is an excellent thesis. And this is why, obviously I've underperformed Bonk, but this is why we're at a $14 million market cap. We're up at 6x on this investment, right? In like a month or two. And this is my full written first, second, third order consequences of the Toshi trade. So ETF gets approved, halving approaches, Bitcoin goes parabolic, Coinbase is the biggest exchange, it has all the user inflow. There's a positive regulatory backdrop, promotion of crypto by biggest financial firms. Real apps are built on Base. Coinbase sends its users up the value chain. Millions of people go to Base. Base-related projects go parabolic as we have capital inflow. The biggest Base meme coin goes parabolic, like we saw with Bonk on Solana, blah, blah, blah. Now, Kun had a good tweet here, just to give you some supporting notes. If you find yourself always late to plays, it's because you are only considering the first order benefit, which is someone else's second and third order views from the past, right? So when you look at something and go, okay, the first order consequence is this. Someone else has already predicted that first order consequence many steps ago. And because they've predicted it earlier than you, they've made more money than you, right? So to stay ahead, you need to think about the second and third order impacts. And this is how I would view it, right? Most people in the market only think 1 step ahead. And then some people in the market think 2 steps ahead, and barely anyone thinks 3 steps ahead, or at least accurately guesses 3 steps ahead. So the idea is that you buy something at the third order consequence level, and you sell it at the first order consequence level, right? Because if you buy something here, no one believes in it, right? We did that drawing before, right? You buy something here, no one believes in it, and when everyone believes in it, when it becomes that first order consequence, right? That's where you make the money. I hope this is making sense. I hope I'm not confusing you guys. I'm trying to make this really, really simple. So how would this play out? So, well, today I dropped my phone. So first order consequence is I go to the shop tomorrow. Second order consequence is I think I get 16 gigabytes. Third order consequence, maybe the SIM card doesn't work, right? So by tomorrow, the first order consequence has played out. So what is the scenario? It's not I dropped my phone anymore, it's I bought a new phone. So I bought a new phone. What's the first order consequence of buying a new phone? Well, I'm probably going to have to get a SIM card. So the SIM card went from being the second order consequence to the first order consequence, right? So everyone was thinking 1 step ahead. I dropped my phone. I have to buy a new one, right? not many people were thinking about the SIM card. And barely anyone was thinking about the fact that the SIM card might not be working. Right? So that's just to give you a sort of an example here. As the third order consequence becomes the first order consequence as time plays out, if you are correct, you make the money because everyone believes in what you were predicting, and you make the money. Okay? I've said that like 10 times now. Hope it's burned into your brains. So again, in the mastermind, I told everyone at a $2.2 million market cap that I'm buying Toshi. That was at literally the exact bottom. You can see I could have bought at any point before it went down 90%. I didn't. I only bought once here at the exact bottom, and we're now up 6x. Okay? So how do you start thinking with second and third order consequences? This is how I would recommend to do it, but it is a complicated topic. It's hard for me to just download into your brain how to think second and third order. Like, it's sort of hard to do, but I'll try to give you some general points. So whenever you hear or see something, you need to think to yourself, what could this cause? And then what would that cause after that? So, I don't know, what's an example? Let's say a piece of news comes out in the market, and you're trying to think about what this news means for the future. You need to try to think multiple steps ahead. So don't just go, okay, the ETF got rejected, so that means price is going down. You have to ask yourself, okay, ETF got rejected, price is going down, but what happens if when's the ETF going to be looked into getting approved again? So maybe the next deadline is March. Okay, so price is probably going to go down and then bottom before March, because March there's another chance of an approval. So I should be looking to buy maybe in February, right? Something like that, thinking multiple steps ahead. Not just, oh, panic, ETF denied, I have to sell now. No, you have to think multiple steps ahead. Understand that the money is made being multiple steps ahead of the market. Most participants can only think one step at a time. Knowing what they think before they think is how you profit. Pattern recognition database. You need to learn one so you are able to accurately use the second, third order consequences framework. So what I mean here is that the reason that I'm able to look at this Toshi trade as an exemplar, right, and know, or at least have a high like a large, strong conviction in this playing out, is because I've already seen a similar trade to this play out multiple times. Bonk has gone 40x. I've seen a Doge pump during the last bull run. SHIB. I've seen all the same things happening again and again. So when I'm planning out into the future, I work back off of my pattern recognition database, which is another topic we talk about in this course, to be able to determine the likelihood of this second and third order consequences occurring, right? How do I know the probability of something happening? Well, I use past events to help me determine if the future events have a higher chance of occurring. So if I know that meme coins, the main meme coin of a certain blockchain, Doge on Ethereum, Bonk on Solana, if they're all pumping when the money comes in, then I know that almost for a damn fucking fact, when Base gets the inflow, Toshi's going up, right? Pretty fucking simple, right? The future is easier to predict when you've seen it before. And last one is a real actionable step. So play games like chess, because chess is a game about second and third order consequences, right? You make a move, then they make a move, but you can predict what their move is going to be before you've made your move. And the best chess players in the world are probably thinking 5, 10, maybe even 15 steps ahead on the chessboard, right? They set the move up multiple steps in advance. They have a game plan. They know exactly what their opponent's going to do maybe 4 steps from now, right? That is the perfect example of the second and third order consequences, right? In chess, you win by being able to forecast and place yourself in the highest probability of occurring situations by analyzing the chessboard and what the steps forward are going to be, right? I've never played chess before, but I know that chess is about thinking what your opponent's going to do, planning for all the scenarios, and making the moves which put the highest chance of you winning, in your favor, right? And this is a good little quote here. Like a chess prodigy who sees 3, 4, or more moves ahead, as a trader, you must learn to weigh second and third order consequences. So you can see these traders are already talking about this on the internet. So I think that's all the sections of this. Yep, that's all the sections. That's second and third order consequences. Now again, I know the title was different here, just ignore when that's different. But hope you guys found this one useful. We'll get on to the next part of the course now. Cheers.